So what sort of training could you provide to the deputies?
Um, Several years ago, we had something to come into play called the Governor's Initiative courses, and they're required every year as part of that 20-hour thing. That includes community-oriented policing, de-escalation, and the use of force training. That would be standard. I would teach that all the time. Any if I get the office, anybody who comes through and works for me is going to have to go through the Office of the Sheriff course, so they can understand the duties and the functions that I expect them to perform working at a sheriff's department, because it's different than a police department.
Right.
We're officers of the court. We're a constitutional office. There's certain things that they need to know that doesn't apply to your local police department.
And am I right? Deputies work at the will of the sheriff, like you can fire at any time?
Correct. In addition to that training, I'd also like to provide, if we can ever get the equipment, I'm a master pepperball instructor. It's a great non-deadly force option. I could teach all the deputies that. We just got to eventually, hopefully, get some launchers to be able to do it. It would help out a lot in the jail when we get this new jail built, hopefully, and it would help out a lot for out on the road situations. Non-deadly force option of taser, I can teach every style of taser they make. I can put on a course for that.
Right.
The de-escalation, the verbal judo, interpersonal communications, the crisis intervention, the mental health and autism, all of that kind of stuff in the Office of the Sheriff and the Governor's Initiative courses, and especially the use of force course, because that's not just a deadly force option. That's me just touching, grabbing somebody kind of thing, because that's a use of force. Search and seizures through the Fourth Amendment, all that kind of stuff everybody's going to have to be up to speed on.
So let me ask you this. If you did in-house training because you are certified, does that count toward their training?
Yes, it does.
And does that actually save money to the county without having to send them other? I know that they're on duty while they're doing the training with you.
Mm-hmm. And that be to get the mileage and the gas. They wouldn't have to put on the vehicles driving to Forsyth or another agency, because I can do it right there in Abbeville.
Right.
So yes, you're right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So we have 4 boys of our own.
Yes, sir.
And their protection, their safety is a key concern of us, as I'm sure is with any parent in the county. What do you plan to do to help keep children safe in the community?
I would like to, I'm going to go circle back to what I was talking about earlier with the class that I can put on with the middle school, because that touches on like Snapchat, Facebook Live, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, all those other social media apps that the preteens are starting to use in middle school. And it just goes further and further, because they're meeting these people on the internet and they don't know them from Adam. So I would like to be involved in the school and do this. It was an hour presentation, PowerPoint, and lecture. And I would love to be down there and educating these kids and the teachers. And I welcome any parent who wants to go to this to come as well. Because a lot of this stuff, the parents need to be aware of also, because the kids are only in school Monday to Friday for 8 hours. The rest of the time they're at the house, and on the weekends they're at the house. So the parents need to know what's going on too.
Right.
And further education is how you meet that goal. The second thing I would like to do is I know the school is doing a response to it, like an active shooter thing already.
Right.
For the faculty.
One of our biggest fears is.
Yes. And I hear it all the time. Well, just because it's Wilcox County, that doesn't mean anything in today's climate. Okay. Not anything at all. No. So I would rather go ahead and prepare for the worst, and that way people have a game plan. So that being said, I would love to do a joint function with Board of Education, and it makes it easier, honestly, to do this with K through 12 being in the new school in one building.
Right.
It starts with your SROs and your teachers and your principals, and we need Rochelle PD.
Rochelle PD, of course, yes.
Abbeville PD, the fire departments, EMS, and of course the sheriff's office. Everybody needs to be on the same page for what they call it alert now. Mm-hmm. When I went through it, it was response to active shooter. They put a new title on it and it's been updated, but I really want to do that.
Has anything like that been done prepared wise is there any program in place right now for the county?
For our county?
Yeah.
I am completely unfamiliar. Like I said, the only thing I know of is the faculty, they have a plan in motion.
Okay.
But if we can sit down with the head of the agencies for the public safety agencies in the county and the teachers and the faculty and the principals and work this out and put on a training for a Saturday, Sunday, or both days, preferably, and do this at least once a year, and everybody be on the same page. That way, God forbid it ever happens, but we have some sort of a game plan put in place to combat that situation. Right. And another thing I was looking at, there is no caution light or no red light at the school.
Right.
That bothers me a lot, considering it's on Lower State Route 215,
yes.
Fitzgerald Highway.
Yes.
I don't like that, and I live right outside of Rochelle, and you got Legion coming in right here, and you got all that traffic on the Fitzgerald Highway, and the schools right here. They got the stop sign.
And y'all are having 2 and 3 deputies out there in the morning times. Especially on foggy mornings.
Mm-hmm.
And afternoons.
Yeah, and afternoons. So.
Well, I know Ashburn is doing something they have called Red Zone.
Yeah.
And I would love to implement that here. And what that is, it's an automated. There's nobody there. It's just a automated system that sits out at the school zone. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize the school zone starts an hour before and an hour after.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised at people who don't know that.
Yeah.
Well, but what that red zone does, if you fly through the school zone, tag and a ticket.
Yep. Yeah, we moved from Milledgeville down here about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, they lit them up around the schools.
Well, and they should.
And they should.
And see, and people are going to say, oh, well, you only put that out there for money for the county. No, it's not, because
I know it's there. I'm slowing down, especially. I'm slowing anyway because I'm a parent,
mm-hmm.
and I respect the school zone. But I'm slowing down automatically just when you see that thing,
Exactly. And you know what? Some people don't learn anything unless they get punished.
Oh, trust me, I know.
And I'll take all the flack for that if we can get this red zone thing. They could call and blow the phone up at the sheriff's office.
So does that go through the sheriff's office to request that?
Yes, it's going to go through us, because you're in the county right there.
Right.
So that would go back to me as sheriff. And I really want that put out there, because like you said, the kids are all out there.
Yeah.
The school buses are coming back through, parent pickup. I mean, you need to have some else for accountability. There's no caution light. There's no red light. There's nothing.
Yeah, it don't take but one person coming from Fitzgerald way not paying attention, and you can have a major disaster right there.
Exactly. And like I said, people are going to get mad. Well, I got a ticket from that automated computer ticket writing thing at the school zone. Yeah, you did, because you were flying through it. And that's on you.
Yeah, that's on you.
How would you feel if you flew through there, or somebody else flew through there and hit the bus and killed your kids?
Exactly.
So
I'm wholeheartedly with you on that.
I think it's a fantastic idea, and I'm wholeheartedly for it.
Anything else you want to touch on as far as safety for kids in the community?
Those are the 3 main things that I'm looking at right now. Mm-hmm. We already have a school SRO, school resource officer, in play. If we can get the staffing back up, I would love to have another SRO in the school.
Oh, yes.
And that way we would guarantee have 2 deputies for ball games, for when they travel ball. I'm also wanting to get, I don't know, I'm sure they are, I'm unfamiliar. But I want it to be where, like it used to. When you go to any of the ball games, you see the sheriff's department.
Right.
Out there in uniform, looking sharp. And we're there.
Yeah.
In case anything happens, we're right there.
Right.
But see, all these kids now, because we don't have any kind of thing in this county, we don't have a lot of extracurricular activities in this county. So what are the kids going to think is cool and go into? The gang activity. And they want to be gangbanger stuff. So a shooting at a sporting event is a great possibility. And I hate to say that. I don't like talking about it, but it is what it is.
We're talking about kids and gangs, the safety of the community. Gangs are bad in our neighboring county, in Cordele. And I've heard they're horrible in Ben Hill County now.
They're terrible in Ben Hill. They're terrible in Turner. They're terrible in Cordele. And where do y'all think that's going to eventually trickle over to? It's already starting. We've had 3 shootings in a month in Wilcox County in the month of October. It's coming this way. And we got to have the sheriff's office advanced to deter and combat that situation for the safety of the community.